Why is anxiety at its highest first thing in the morning? Can we stop that happening? How do we prevent that from ruining our day? And what exactly is the cortisol trap? In this video, I'm going to answer all those questions and give you a step-by-step guide to reducing morning anxiety once and for all. I've been seeing clients for about 15 years now, and what I've learned in that time is that it seems to be an almost universal experience for them that their anxiety is at its highest directly when they wake up in the morning. It's really common for me to hear that a client goes to bed feeling kind of okay, but in the morning they wake up with their heart pounding and their thoughts racing. It feels like the day hasn't even started yet, and they're already fighting their anxiety response. So in this video, I want to explain what's actually going on in those first few minutes after waking, and also talk about something I call the morning cortisol trap, which, when understood, will help you break out of this torturous anxiety loop. Every morning, your body gives you a hormonal wake-up call. It's called the cortisol awakening response, and it's your body's way of saying, wake up, time to do things. Cortisol is the stress hormone, but despite how it sounds and what it can do to us, it isn't bad. It's a natural hormone that we all produce that helps us wake up. It boosts our alertness and mobilizes our energy for the day ahead. But of course, if we've experienced a period of high anxiety, our system is already on high alert. We're subconsciously monitoring for any shifts in the way we feel. We've learnt to be wary of any physical changes in our state, and maybe even to fear those changes. So that normal morning spike in cortisol now feels like something to be afraid of, and might even get mistaken for a surge of panic. So you basically wake up buzzing, your heart's racing, and your mind immediately starts scanning for problems. And because you're used to feeling anxious, your thoughts instantly go to the idea that something's going wrong, when really it's just your body doing its job, albeit a little more enthusiastically than feels comfortable right now. But there's another facet to this. If you've been sleeping badly, that cortisol spike actually becomes stronger. If last night we didn't get enough sleep, our brain ramps up cortisol production to keep us functioning. So after a restless night, we wake up with an even bigger stress response waiting for us. And that's why the morning can feel so rough after a night of poor sleep. You're literally walking into a hormonal alarm call. Now, if it's just a single night of poor sleep, we can expect a cortisol spike. But if that lack of sleep is chronic, then our cortisol levels out a bit and can stay high long after waking. This is because the part of our brain that governs cortisol production gets kind of a little bit hyperactive. So this response then doesn't just affect your morning, it affects your whole day. It can even run into the evening, as it now takes longer for the cortisol levels to drop. And this is where we end up falling into the trap. You white knuckle your way through the day, desperately trying to stave off the high anxiety, and then at night time, you finally start to feel a little better. The anxiety eases, your mind clears, and you think, right, I'm finally starting to feel normal again. But of course, when we get some respite from the struggle, we want to hold on to that. So we don't want to go to bed, we want to stay up later and have some time we can actually enjoy. We scroll, we read, we watch TV, we pretty much do anything to extend this window of peace. It's so common for me to hear clients tell me that they don't go to bed until around 1, 2, maybe even 3 a.m. because deep down they know the moment they go to bed, the next thing they'll have to face is that anxious morning again. That's the morning cortisol trap that I see so many people fall into, staying up late to enjoy what little time they have when they're not anxious, and also to avoid tomorrow's anxiety, which then robs them of sleep, which makes tomorrow's anxiety even worse. It's a loop we get stuck in without even realizing it. But now you know this, what can you do about it? It might surprise you to hear that breaking this pattern isn't about forcing yourself to go to bed early or pretending that you love mornings. It's about changing your relationship with that inevitable and perfectly natural morning cortisol spike. So here are some simple steps. Firstly, reframe it. When you wake up anxious, remind yourself, this is just my body's wake-up hormone. It's not danger, it's energy. In many instances, the problem isn't how we feel, it's how we've been responding to how we feel. So yeah, respond differently. This does not mean anything is going wrong. No need to be concerned. Secondly, get daylight early. Do your best to step outside or at least open the curtains. Natural light tells your brain the day's started and helps your cortisol rhythm settle properly. Next thing, move. A light stretch, short walk, or even just standing up and breathing deeply helps your body do something with that cortisol instead of stewing in it. Remember, energy is meant to be used for something, so use it. The next thing you can do is reduce evening stimulation. Wind down properly, dim the lights, avoid doom scrolling, and give your system a chance to lower your cortisol levels before you go to sleep. This will not only allow you to enjoy some well-deserved restful time, but it will allow you to get to bed at a time that enables you to have a proper night's sleep. And with that in mind, one big final step you can take is to prioritize sleep. Remind yourself that the goal isn't to avoid the morning, it's to make mornings easier. Each time you prioritize sleep, as in making time to have a decent amount of hours dedicated to it, you're taking valuable steps towards making that morning spike smaller and less intrusive. Okay, so if you wake up excessively anxious, it doesn't mean you've failed at managing your anxiety. It just means your body's rhythm is maybe slightly out of sync, and that's something you can absolutely bring back into balance. Morning anxiety isn't the start of another bad day. It's your body trying to get you going. Once you know that's happening, you can respond with a calm attitude rather than a fearful one. You're not stuck in this pattern. Your system just needs a little retraining, and it all starts today. Now that you understand the process and you know how to no longer fall into that morning cortisol trap. If this video resonated with you, then why not check out this other video I made all about sleep, and subscribe to the channel for weekly anxiety related videos. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'm Tim Box. Always remember, be kind to your mind, and I'll see you next time.